Some places don't need legends to feel dangerous. Some places get quiet in a way that makes you hear things you've been trying to outrun. And sometimes the darkest moments don't happen in the middle of the night. They happen in the middle of nowhere. He wasn't planning on stopping. He wasn't even supposed to be on that road. It was one of those backcountry stretches where people only use when they're being tired of being on the main highway. A narrow strip of asphalt with woods pressing on both sides of the road like they're trying to swallow the road whole. He was driving home after a long day, the kinds that drains you without anything dramatic happening. Just life wearing you down in small, quiet ways. That's when he saw the truck, half on the shoulder and half in the ditch. No hazards, no lights. Just sitting there at a strange angle like someone pulled the truck over fast and didn't care how the truck landed. He slowed down without meaning to. Something about it felt wrong, not dangerous, just unfinished. He pulled over a few yards ahead and then stepped out. The woods were loud in that nighttime away, insects buzzing, branches shifting, something moving deeper in the trees. The kind of sound that makes you feel watched even when you know you're not. He called out once, no answer. He walked to the truck and saw footprints in the dirt leading into the woods. Not wondering, not confused. Just a straight line into the trees like someone walked in with a purpose. He followed them. A few steps and the world changed. The air felt heavier, the sound sharper, the darkness thicker. And then he saw him. A man sitting on a fallen log, elbows on his knees, head hanging low. Not crying, not shaking, just gone somewhere inside himself. "You all right?" he asked, keeping his voice low. The man didn't look up, he didn't move, he didn't even acknowledge him. He tried again. "You hurt?" A long pause. The man finally spoke up, voice flat and tired. "No, just needed to get away from everything." The woods swallowed the woods, they sound heavier out there. He stayed a few feet back, giving the man space. He knew better than to crowd someone who was already on the edge of something. The man finally lifted his head. His eyes looked like someone who hadn't slept in days, not physically but mentally. The kind of exhaustion that doesn't show up on your body first, it hits your spirit. He wasn't trying to scare anybody, the man said. "I just didn't want to go home yet." He didn't explain why. He didn't have to. Some things you can't hear in a person's voice. They sat there in the dark, the woods breathing around them. No speech, no advice, just two people sitting in a place most folks avoid after sunset. After a while, the man spoke again. "Have you ever felt like you're holding everything together with one hand and someone keeps adding more weight to it?" He nodded. "Yeah, more than once." The man let out a breath that sounded like it had been stuck in his chest for days. "I didn't come out here to do anything stupid," he said. "I just needed a minute with nobody needing anything from me." He understood that more than he expected to. They sat in silence again, not awkward, just real. Sometimes silence is the only thing that doesn't make a person feel worse. Eventually, the man stood up slow, like his body was heavier than it should have been. "Thanks for stopping," he said. "Most people wouldn't." He walked back toward the road, not fast, not confident, but moving. Moving was enough. The guy who stopped stayed behind for a moment, looking deep into the woods. No shadows, no silence, the weight of whatever almost happened there. And he realized something. Darkness doesn't always look like danger. Sometimes it looks like a man sitting alone in the woods trying to decide if he's ready to face his life again. And sometimes the only thing that keeps someone from breaking is a stranger who refused to pretend he didn't see anything. He walked back toward the road for a second. The woods felt even quieter than before. Not peaceful, just empty in a way that makes you realize how close people get to slipping through the cracks when they realize no one noticed. He stayed there for a moment longer, listening to the branches shift overhead and the insects buzzing like static. The kind of sound you only hear when you're standing still long enough to understand it. Most people think darkness show up loud, but out here it didn't. It showed up as a man who didn't want to go home yet. A man who needed 5 minutes in the woods to breathe without someone asking him for something he didn't have left to give. He walked back to his own car slowly, looking at the truck, the footprints, the quiet road stretched out in both directions. Nothing dramatic happened, no big moments, no headlines. Just a reminder that sometimes the heaviest things people carry never makes a sound. He got in, closed the door, and sat there with the engine off, thinking about how easy it is to miss someone who's barely holding on. How close that man was to disappearing in the trees for reasons he didn't want to say out loud. As he pulled back into the road, he realized something he'll never forget. You don't just save people by fixing their life. You save them by showing up the exact minute they think no one would. Thanks for listening to another episode of One Voice Mini Stories.